Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I hope you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and I hope this video inspires you to go out and use your junk mail. So, who's got mail? I know I do. All right, so what I've done probably the past 2 weeks is collect some mail, but my goal going forward for this series is whatever mail I get for the week, I'll pick and choose and add some stuff to this journal and just keep going until I think it's done. How long it's going to take at this point, who knows? But what I've done, like I said, I pulled together about 2 weeks of papers or mail, and have decided how I'm going to start this. So I have gone through and I pulled a bunch of blue and red small papers. I've got these mini pads. They were like from Sizzix. Die cuts with a view. They're like 4x6, 5x7 pads. So I pulled a bunch of blues and reds. And the reason I did that was because I'm thinking I'm going to end up using for the covers and maybe some ephemera in there is I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz correspondence papers, and they're all, you know, correspondence postal blue and red. And I do have the 8x8 version, and so I might end up making a journal that's 8x8 and going from there. It may be similar to that one that I made recently with Tim Holtz, where I have the border on there with the brads, so it ends up being, you know, really like 7x8. We're gonna go see, but I do have both sets, but the goal is to use these papers also as ephemera, journal cards, etc. So I'm gonna get this out of the way, and I'm just gonna do a quick overview of what I have and go over what we're gonna do today. So I have a whole bunch of envelopes, and for some reason these past 2 weeks we've got a whole bunch of these big window envelopes. A lot of them were for voting, for stocks and weird stuff. So, but yeah, just a whole bunch of big window, State Farm, just they happen to send a bunch of big window ones. So I thought that would probably be a fun project for the week, figuring out what to do with big windows. And then I've got regular mail, just normal window size, tiny one. Oh, there's another bigger one. I got so many this past 2 weeks. A couple smaller ones that were tiny. I do have also, I did this a while ago where I stamped my tidbits using red ink and blue ink. So I'm going to be using these, and I did start using these today to cover up some addresses. All right, so envelopes, that will be a future project. All right, and then I also have, I got that future project. Well, actually, I might use these today. I'm going to keep them out. I have a few other advertisement kind of things. This was actually not an advertisement, but it was just stuck in the State Farm. Had a phone numbers, auto insurance, heating, electrical something, etc. Coupon book from KFC that is expired. And this, unfortunately, it got ripped. I taped it, but I might end up being able to use part of it. It's just a nice, big, thick kind of card. So I have these to make journal cards or tags, etc. So we'll put that aside. Oh, and then I found this. So this has been a while since I got this. But I had this one Joann's ad. It's from last Labor Day. I found it at the bottom of a bucket. It doesn't even look like, I mean, it's stuck here. It doesn't even look like I ever actually opened it to see what was inside on sale. So I thought, well, this could be fun to add into the journal as a remembrance, because look what a happy accident that is. I say because the Joann's, my local Joann's closed a week ago on Saturday, last week. So yeah, so what a happy accident. We got these yellow blue pages in there. Oh, when they used to be open. Yeah, use that page with the flip out. I love it. So I'm going to probably use these in here and add these. Okay. And then I just pulled a bunch of paperwork that comes with everything. I love these where it says, just intentionally left blank. That'd be fun. I did, like I said, put stickers on labels, and just a lot of numbers and the things I send with, you know, credit cards, and just lots of numbers and coupon ads that they send. Just a bunch of papers. Yeah, healthcare, blah blah blah. All right, so my thought today is I'm going to start making the journal pages. Now I'm going to make the journal pages in this way, and if I can think of who I saw it from recently, I'll try to link it. I did comment on her video thanks for the tip, because I remember seeing it a while ago. I don't know who did it, but basically it's a running page. It's a running page of pages, and then you cut it down to make the journal pages. So we just glue a whole bunch together and then go back and cut it. So my thought is to not only like take these, but maybe, you know, rip them and like add some of these in here, and then part, you know, maybe take part of this. So it's kind of like almost like a collage of pages, but it is, yeah. And then I'll show you after we go a bit, then we're going to cut them down to probably, I think I'll probably cut them down to 8.5 by 11. So probably 11, maybe 12. And make the page for that. And we'll go from there. So yeah, let's just see how it goes. I'll just randomly pick papers and go from there. Right? Just random. Just random. All right, so I'm going to start with that, and I get a bit of glue, and I should probably get my glue book handy, so I can glue on there and go from there. All right. All right, so that is really a blank one. See, what I thought was nice about this intentionally left blank is the fact that it, I think I'll start that as the beginning. So that's the height, because this is probably a good height. This is probably about, yeah, it's about 8.5 inches, normal 8.5 inches. That's probably a good height, and I can kind of gauge it by there and go from there. Okay. And I can always go back and end up gluing the pages down a little further. I never went back and watched the video, so I could totally be doing it weirdly wrong, but all right, put that right there. But we're just basically trying to make long journal. I want to keep that blank, like I said before, just to have it go from there. All right, let's use now the thought is also that I'm going to put something in between there. I think the thought is also that I'm not going to make this all junk mail per se. Because like I said, I'm going to be adding the Tim Holtz stuff in there, and but when I like decorate pockets and tags, I'm not going to make it all junky. That is for sure. I'm going to end up making it with other stuff. But the bases is going to be junk. All right, let's go with that. All right, so I'm going to keep, like I said, I'm going to keep gluing with this, and then eventually we're going to go, more stuff. Eventually we're going to go and we'll figure out where 11 ends. So say it ends here, and I fold it in half. This would be a page, front and back, and then this would start the next page. So they would have parts and bits on there. So you don't want to start with totally huge pieces, because, or too small pieces. You can have them go hit or miss into different pages. that was convenient. All right, so I think we'll put that there. And I do want to overlap some of these just a little bit. Just in case it gets, cut right here. It's not, or cut right there, just to make sure it's, evenish as possible. All right, this is fun. This is United Healthcare. They have those, always got those pages that have the other languages on there. All right, we'll go here. Whoops. I think I might be going through a few glue sticks on this. Oops, I think I wanted to go up a little higher. And it's going to be longer here, but I'll end up cutting that off. And if I just wanted that more on the bottom, yeah. And it's probably going to go off the end of the table. All right, so should I get a Joann's page in here? I want to keep that full. So we'll go ahead and glue this. Now this is going to end up being the opposite side of the, figure a journal goes back and forth. So having these to be lots of blanks is fine, because then you end up with a lot of place to journal on the back. Kind of like having a digital. So you got print on the front, plan on the back. So using these sheets is not a bad add-on to this. Okay, speaking of that, I think I will put this here. And we'll just, I wanted to go this way. Go. All right, what's next? How about some numbers? Oh, and a graph chart. That's fun. Whoops. I hope you're all having a good weekend. Today is going to be, this is going to post on Sunday, so May the 4th. So if you're a Star Wars fan, May the 4th be with you. I'm actually filming this on Saturday, so today is the Kentucky Derby. I know a lot of people watch that. And of course we even have, let's go this way, we have the lovely Monday where it's going to be Cinco de Mayo. Probably should have not put those even there. So fun there. All right, here's some blue and red. Let's glue that. I like how they got the circle in there. Let's glue that right there. Getting a little gluey here. All right, so there it is so far. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about here before we get too far. All right, so where is my long cutter? Our longer cutter. All right, let's clear a little bit out of the way. All right, so if this is 8.5 tall and we want to do 11, just like a normal page would be, and then we can figure out from there. We'll go ahead and cut this here at 11. So that will be our first page, and it is going to end up being, like I said, a journal page to go in the journal. So we will fold it in half. And close enough to have. A little sticking out there, but there was a nice thing in there. So that would be, and this just keeps not wanting to stick. I don't know what its problem is. So that would be a page. That would be the front, inside, back page, and that is one page of the journal. All right, let's see. Can we get a second one out of here? It's still a little wet. Yeah, it's still a little wet. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to end up putting a little bit more on here. I think I might cover a bit of this up because it is sticky, and yeah, I'm just going to cover a bit up. Keep that door graph, enough of the doorbuster showing. Yeah, that'll be fine, because my 11, when I gauge it, was about to there, so it'll be good to have that locked down a little bit further. Okay, so let's go back to adding some more stuff. All right, let's pick something in the middle. That one's actually thicker than the other ones. All right. All right, we're going to go that way with this. Oh, that's what I forgot. I also have, and I can go back, I did pull a bunch of washi tapes. Blues and reds. This one says all fragile like mail would be. This has numbers on there. Arrows. These are stamps. These have a bunch of numbers. These have like barcodes. Blue. This has like postal marks on there. So I thought it would be kind of fun too. And if this is like kind of plain there, is to go ahead and I'll go back to the other page and just add some fun washi tapes in there. Because not only will that add to the strength of the page, it will also be some sort of fun decoration and also kind of lock down some of the pages. Now, where did I put my? All right, let's see what we can put on this one. Seems pretty sticky, but I don't think I'll necessarily put anything back here. Yeah, I think I'll put something right there. Okay, this is really curly. There we go. Okay. Cute how it like kind of underlines this is page left intentionally blank. back to our mission. All right, so I think I'll probably add the washi tape afterwards, after the pages are cut. See where I need to do that, but that is an option to do as you go or to do after. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep working on these, and then I will come back and show you, probably cut them online, cut them in front of you to show you what they look like, but I just want to keep adding papers, and you kind of know what I'm doing here, so be right back. All right, so I've glued a bunch of these together. I do still have a bit of stuff left, but I went through a good majority of the stuff. A funny thing happened though. I started out with pages that were this tall, and as you can see, as I get further down, they're like this too. They got really big. So when I get to cutting those down to the 11, I'll have to decide if I want to cut the top or the bottom off. If I was so, I think about 8.5, or maybe do a fold up. We'll have to see, because I haven't really gotten to that point yet. So, all right. So I think we'll just put it to the side here, because I've got more room on that side, and we will just see what we get from these. Now this is where it's going to be interesting, because I do have things poking off the top and the bottom here. Maybe the bottom looks a little straighter. All right, so my 11 is at that line there. And if it's a little off, it's a little off. You know what? You can go back and trim it a little bit if you want to, I guess. It's, again, just junk mail journal. All right, so that's going to be the 11 for that one. I'm just going to cut them all, and then we'll come back and fold them. All right, so the 11 is about there. Now right now I'm cutting the back side for that, just because it was just the way it kind of flew over the table here. But yeah, I'm not sure where it went astray from being how high it was to. And I think I see it right here. I added some stuff, and I do remember I was going to cut that bottom off, and I probably just kept mirroring it as I went along. It got kind of unruly and huge. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to go to the top with this one, because I got a thing sticking off the back here. And 11 is approximately right there. Yeah, this is definitely taller. This is about 10 inches tall. So it got cray-cray. It's got a bit cray-cray. All right. I think really my goal here is to maybe try to keep these lines straight. Yeah, that's huge. That is about 11 tall. 11 by 11. Ooh, now that is a big, wide, expansive back on this one. All right, so 11 goes to be about right there. And yeah, that is gonna involve some cutting there. Now I'm gonna keep the last one, probably whatever it ends up being, because I can, like I said, next week when we do Who's Got Mail, I'll probably have to add some more pages. I'll have to count how many we have today, but I don't think we're gonna have enough. I mean, we might, but I want to be able to, you know, continue on. I did end it sort of straight with the off chance that it would be 11, but as you can tell, it is not. It is way. All right, so this would be like the beginning foundation of any further pages. Probably cut it down a little bit to a height that's reasonable from there. Okay. All right, so if we wanted to do 8.5, really had some fun stuff on these. So this goes to be about 8. So what if we folded this up as like a pocket? Not totally straight. Let's try that one more time. All right, so now this is about 8 1/4 high. Yeah, that I think that will be fun. All right, so we can fold this in half. And like I said, we go back and do any washi tapes or something that we want to add to this and make it be I'm gonna cut the pocket a little bit here just to get rid of some bulk at the fold. Okay. I'll glue it up later, but like I said, glue those for pockets. Well, there is the second page. Yeah, fun. Like I said, that got much bigger, but again, I have not cut the cover for it, so meaning this is a little bit more than 6, and I'm not sure how that got to be because I thought I cut it in 11. Where's 5 1/2? 5 1/2 is there. Yeah, that definitely is a little bit bigger. Okay, we will see what the cover is, and we'll go back and cut them if we have to. But we're going to keep it for now. Okay, let's get the next one here. Oh, this was a fun one. This was, I had put the Joanne page in there, and I left the flap. So I'm glad that that is still front and center. So we're going to cut it down from there to about 8 1/2. And we can always add that back to some more pages. I'm guessing the Joanne ad is about 8 1/2. That's perfect. All right. And we will fold that in. Now I do have a little piece there. If it decides it wants to come off, I can pull it. It was just where it got attached. Same with this. This does have a little bit of writing on there. So I'm going to see if I can get it to stay glued. You just never know when you're putting something somewhere if it's going to, be right on the edge or somewhere in the middle. But I'm so happy that ended up being in a reasonable spot. But yeah, I could put something on there, journaling back here or something. And I really wanted to make sure some coupons got attached because Joanne coupons no longer exist. So I want to make sure that got on there. Yeah, fun. Okay, let's see what the next one will hold. All right, so this is the front. And I think I want to get rid of that because I kept Flo's feet from Progressive. I thought that was fun. All right, so let's get this down to about 8 1/2. It's not too, I'm going to cut it to 9 because this top looks a little sad. And we'll save that. We can add that to the pages. Now, this is going to be an easy fold, and then we'll just straighten it out. There we go. That's not too bad. crow's feet and some numbers, lots of writing space, little part of that Joanne ad. Yeah. All right, put that in there. I don't know if that's the way the order is going to go, but all right. This one I ended up putting this boat on there. I thought that was kind of fun. I think I'm gonna fold this like I was doing the other ones, and then just trim a little bit off of each end because I thought that house was fun. So let's trim it to there. And let's see where the bottom ends up showing up. All right, 8.5 to there. Okay. All right, well, that's a great page. I have to, like I said, to go back and add a little bit of washi tape to these, but that's a nice page. I like it. Yeah, so far, I think it's working well, besides my faux pas of making it too high. All right, so this, I don't want to cut flow off. So we're gonna do like we did on the other ones. Fold this in half. And see what we can cut off. All right, let's cut a little bit off the top. This fold is going to make it be the straight line to go gauge it by. All right. All right. Oops, we got to do this side. I cut that side already. All right, 8.5 is to about right there. Oops. I'm just gonna straighten that fold out a little bit. Just got a bit. And you know, it's junk mail, so should I care this much that it's straight? Probably not. But yeah. Flo saying hi to the chicken. Okay. All right, so we are getting closer to the ones that were the right height, but they're still a bit awkward here. All right, so I think I'm just gonna straighten this top a little bit. I want to keep that Labor Day red blue sign on there. And get rid of that from the bottom. Not too bad, yeah. I could tell when I was losing the height, I was getting a little crooked, but a lot of this stuff is going to end up getting, you know, covered up with tags or something, pockets. All right, I got, what, 2 more? And we might be actually close to having enough pages to do this. Hard to believe, but all right, I don't think you're going to need much trimming. I'm just going to straighten this bottom out a little bit. And see where we're at the top. Oops, I just trimmed that. So we wanna. All right, 8.5 is to there. Yep, that page is good. Yeah, I think just looking at this right now, I think we're just gonna go ahead and trim that down to the 5.5, just because all the other ones really are there. one more. Yep, we got one more. Good old Joanne doorbusters. I have to make that the front page. Just might have to. All right, this top looks pretty straight, so let's just trim the bottom. Take that little flag off. All right, let's see what we got here. I mean, I think it's pretty full right now. I am pretty impressed. All right, so we got 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, 6 pages, closed feet, 7 pages, 8 pages with the flip. You're a little short, but you got the pocket, 9 pages. And that's where the center is. We have 9 pages. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Should I add more pages to this, or should I just try to make this into the journal? Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point for this. Maybe we can go ahead and add a little bit of washi tape to some places. Let's do that. Washi tape could be fun. All right, we'll just start from the top. And I can't say that those pages are all in the way that I want to put them in order, but I think I'm going to put Fragile here across this whole thing. I'm not sure if these are going to end up the order. I do really like this one as the front page, though. Just what do you want to call it? Memory, tribute. It is, you know, I mean, a lot of us obviously shopped at Joann Fabrics, but I do have the extra added, not benefit, but tradition, extra added history of working there for 20 plus years. I think that'll be a good topper. All right, I'm going to put some in here. Use a little bit of color back here. All right, the seam or the fold is a little bit in, so this is okay. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but I think I want to get rid of her face. I don't know why, I just do. She's kind of creeping me out, peeking out behind the thing. And plus this is sticking up. I mean, I could glue it, but I think we need a little red back here. All right, we're not gonna wrap that around because doorbusters. Okay. And a little bit right there. Like this is please detach here, and then we got some arrows going that way, so I like that. All right. Call that one done. Now this is that first one I did. I did put the tape on there already, so I don't know if I necessarily want to. I'm going to put a little tape here. I do want to keep most of that blank back here. Okay, I call that one done. This one I did add some tape, I think when I was making it. I had a little bit of tape on this one. And I think just a hint of tape there will be fun. And we're going to go with a neutral-ish one. Come on. There we go. Stuck to my fingers. Yeah, I like the neutralness of that. And I think a little bit right there. We'll go with some red because it got the blue paper there. So I think we'll do some red there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I like that one. Okay. Now for this one, I don't know if I want any washi tape on this side. But I think I want some on this side because it's crooked. And I'm trying to straighten it out a little bit, maybe. Faux straight. Which could be a challenge for Lisa because you know how unstraight I go. Yes, his words are still crooked, but yeah, sort of makes it look a little straight. Yeah, I like it. Probably end up covering that up because I don't think I want skulls in Halloween, but for right now we'll be okay. And I think I'll leave that blank. Maybe just put a little bit. Just a little there. Okay. Well, that one done. All right, so this one, I think I just want to put a little down here. We'll put some blue. We got a lot of red, but I like how there is a little bit of blue in there. Not enough to wrap around, so we'll cut it off. Okay, and I think we'll put a little bit of a barcode. Got a little bit ripped. Okay. I think you're pretty good for right now. All right, keep that one. All right, I really do like this one, but I think a little bit of red would not be, or maybe some numbers. I think, all right, I'll put it there. Got some of those same colors in here. That's why I kind of thought it would be okay to do that. Yeah. All right, so for this side, I think I want a nice big strip there. All right. We'll wrap and we'll wrap. maybe a little going that way of some red. Okay. I like it. All right, we have just a few more. I think I'm going to put something here just because I don't like how it tore out of the item, and I think we'll put the fragile on there also. Oh, don't stick. I like that. And that is a big washi tape there, so I think that's going to be good for that. Leave some spots to add something, and boy, I'd probably just leave this all blank. You just put a tad bit there of this with the stamps. Okay, wonderful. And with the flap, don't want to put anything there because I'm not sure how that's going to work. And this side, for some reason I feel this one. There. Yeah, I like that there. Okay, I think we'll leave that one as it is. Wonderful. And this one with the pockets. All right, I think I need some I'll do this with the neutral. Let's do this one. There's a lot of color back here, but I think it just needs to border that line. Well, that was some sticky stuff, really stuck to it. Okay. I probably could have kept it going, but it was just up a little bit, and I thought it looked weird, and now I got a big old mush. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Okay, and for this side, I'll probably end up covering these pockets up with some sort of paper. You know, taking one of those, you know, taking these kind of papers, bigger piece, covering it up, just because I don't like the way it's upside down. So I'm not gonna put any tape there, but I think I'm gonna put a little bit there. And I think, let's do this one. All right, just turn it upside down so I can reach it better. I was going to roll it over, but it's going to be very confusing if I put that there. No. There we go. Cover that up. And this is probably going to bother me. it didn't get glued down, and it's probably gonna, you know what? I'm gonna throw some glue on there and fold it back onto itself, because my luck, I would end up cutting right into the spine of this. Well, let's just glue it back down that way. And that way it is not going to get caught in the spine, and I see this is popping up here. So let's just put a little glue. In there. Okay. All right, well that was the last one to put some washi tapes on. So I am now officially going to say that this is done. So again, if you let me know what you think. Was this enough pages to make the journal? And I'll have to put them in an order. But like I said, I want to put doorbusters first. And of course I lost my center page. But do you think that's enough to make a journal? Or should I try to add a few more pages? All right. And with that, I think we'll probably end up going with the, probably end up with bigger sheets to make the cover. So I'll have to figure that out next week. I didn't pull those out, but there's a lot of options to be able to make some covers with that and figure out how I'm going to do that. These I'll probably, like I said, use to make some journal cards or pockets or tags. So I will use a little bit of those along with my stuff. So yeah, I love it. I'm very excited about this. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel and would like to see how this junk journal, junk mail project goes, like I said, I'll be doing it probably once a week on the weekends, just because I'll gather my supplies that I want to use through the week. And we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Probably just a couple weeks, since I didn't think I'd get this far on getting all these pages together. So I think in my brain, I'm ahead of schedule. All right, that's going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by and hung out with me today. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.